Hi everyone, and welcome back to the latest video. Now I'm really excited to be sharing this one with you, and I hope that you enjoy it too. It's going to be a little bit longish, so please grab a coffee before we get started. And today's video is about showing you what managed buildings, or built for renters as they are known in the UK, are all about, what kind of living they offer, what kind of amenities and things like that. I first came across this term managed buildings in America. Now, if you haven't watched the videos on when I'm looking where I'm looking for apartment for my son, please watch them first, because obviously they are. I'm also talking in there, explaining how it all works. But I was really intrigued how this all works and what are the benefits and disadvantages in comparison to like renting through a private landlord. Now, obviously, my American videos are very clumsy because I literally had no idea what I was doing. It took me even a while to realize that I'm actually talking to AI and not real people. Actually, I realized that I'm talking to AI when AI called me and it's introduced itself as AI. I'm like, are you really AI? Oh yes, I'm an AI, and sort of I've been talking to you. Da, da, da. So it's quite fun to realize that firstly, with the managed buildings, they're trying to keep the cost down, so you are actually talking to and managed by AI. And then the second thing that surprised me was that, like the tours that I had around these buildings and apartments were self-guided tours. So again, a quick learning curve. And as you know from my videos, I've been so unwell the whole time as well. So quick learning curve to learn quickly, how these codes work, where am I supposed to type them, how it all works. So it was like a crazy experience. But I was like really interested in whether we have this concept here. Now, I'm someone who rents in the UK. I'm hoping to buy some, but I've been renting pretty much all my life, 35 years in the UK. And like obviously it's through private landlords, because that's the thing here. And sometimes you get good landlord and sometimes you get a particular landlord. Let's just say that. And so I was quite intrigued how these managed buildings work, whether, when it's actually managed by a company, whether they would be more happy to, like repair the property, things like that. So I knew that there is one similar to the American ones in Watford, but I wasn't sure whether it's the same concept. So I was really excited when I got the appointment and actually went and did a tour, and I'm really excited to show it to you. Now, apart from Watford, we also have built for renters I saw that in Hemel Hempstead. So it's sort of like starting to be a thing here as well. Now, the building that is sort of like built like a hotel with all the amenities is not new in the UK. I just want to make that clear, but people still buy into it. And if you want to rent it, then you sort of like you'd be a private landlord. But these are the buildings that are specifically built for renters, and they are actually managed by a company. And I think, in a way, I would prefer that kind of style, because again, I would be hoping that, like the company hasn't got that attachment that a private landlord would have, wouldn't be arguing with you over the repairs, but obviously I don't know. So I'm really excited to show you firstly how it was in the US, and then how it was in the UK, and let you decide whether this would be for you. Now, very important to remember that I am not doing any advertising for the Watford one, the courtyard, and also it's very called land. And also it's very important to remember that the basic rent per month that we see is just the basic rent, and you've got the amenities on top. I believe that in both what I've seen in the US and UK, you've got amenities on top of that, so whether that's gym, and of course, like if you want to rent certain rooms, certain amenities like a cinema and a dining room, of course that's some of it is included in a package. For more you have to pay. But I was really impressed with the Watford one, and I was actually also surprised to find out that it's an American company, which of course it's a very similar setup, so I wasn't that surprised. But then we've got houses in Hemel Hempstead that are not, they do not include amenities, and they are also built for renters. So let's see how these two compare, two countries, and I will let you decide in the comments what you think of both, and what you think about the concept, guys. I'm so curious. Do you love it? Do you hate it? What do you think? Let me know in the comments, and I'll leave you with my videos. Okay, so this is my local Morrison, and the building is just over there. So basically, that the whole thing is managed. And so, oh my God, it's quite windy today. So this is basically the Morrison store, and apparently we don't have any parking in the building, which is surprising because they do have parking. So we are at Morrison's UK, and so let's go over there. So I was told to go to the reception. I'm in the leasing building and it's absolutely wonderful. So this is the leasing suite. I don't think people only come here to have a look. So beautiful. You get coffee right away. There's a car park, but they're really, really lovely. And yeah, no AI in sight. my God, you guys, what an amazing building. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. And now let's do comparison. So what do we think? It was so similar to the American ones. It's unreal, even down to the fittings in a wardrobe. So let's do the comparison now. Right, guys, so I just been editing this comparison video, and what a fun fun time to be actually looking back at all of that. Both US and UK. Guys, don't forget, I was so new in the US. I mean, if you don't follow my vlog on how I'm doing it in America, please watch it, because you know I am so scared of this. Imagine you are thrown into the new country and you straight away are going to be looking for an apartment, and then all these AI and self-guided tours, and you know, these high-rise buildings, and then it felt like home, you know, in Watford. It felt obviously I'm familiar with Watford, but it was so incredible to see this Vantage building as well. And what do I think? Well, even though I think UK is also going AI way, and I'm a big lover of AI, I do so much with AI, I still think that I find the fact that I was talking to real people and a real person showed me around so much more nicer than doing self-guided tours in States. Of course, you know, because I was doing self-guided tours there, I could record better and more. Here I was sort of like more careful not to get this lovely lady in shot. But I still prefer this touch. Of course, I know that we all had it that way, you know. And when I was telling the lady in Watford that this is what's happening in the US, I could tell that they were quite worried about their jobs, and you know, like thinking about it seriously, like because this is an American company as well. But the similarities were endless, like literally, guys, from fittings in the room to you know, how the washing machine and dryer was stuck on top of each other, and especially like coming into straight into the kitchen. That's so American. I hate that, but that's how it is in America as well. There were just endless similarities, and especially the fittings, you know, like in the closets, scarily similar. But good thing here is that we have a normal bathtub in each apartment there. As you can see, you know, the bathtubs are ridiculous. I honestly don't understand them. The prices are quite similar. I would say here it's a little bit cheaper, but don't forget we are in Watford. So if this was in you know, I don't know, central London, my son is in Jersey City when we are looking at downtown, so that's a really expensive area. So the one bed start from around $3,400, as you saw, and here the one bed apartment starts from 1,800. But I don't know, the prices are rising so quickly. This is actually the same thing in States. What you see one day, it's not true another day, and you can see it again in my vlog where I went to Pier Apartments, and I went there because the price was in our budget. The day I viewed, it was not in our budget anymore, so they do whatever they want, and I guess here they're raising the prices as well. Now the amenities, because obviously this is again brand new building in Watford, the amenities are breathtaking in Watford. Like everything is brand new. There's still many apartments were empty, and they are really trying to rent them out. To be honest, if I could afford it, I would live there as well, because the amenities are breathtaking, and I love the community. You know, cinema room, you can rent a dining room and living room for your own party, you know, for 4 hours. There's also an apartment, the lady wasn't able to show me, but there's also a private 2-bed apartment that you can rent out, you know, for just £150 a night to your friends and family. So if somebody comes over to Watford from, I don't know, another country, they can have a wonderful hotel, more than hotel-like accommodation. So they can actually rent it from Friday to Sunday. So that's another beautiful amenity. I think it's just so nice. So I think in terms of amenities, here is better. But I didn't necessarily view brand new buildings in States like here. But I honestly think that this kind of living is so amazing. It's like a hotel living, everything, you have everything under one roof. there's some apartments like this in Collingdale, and I know that there's also like a downstairs there's a restaurant and shopping. So basically everything at your fingertips. I think it's wonderfully aimed at younger generation that generally just want to live like this, don't have time to cook, just want to socialize. You know, they work harder than ever before, and they just come home and relax and go to gym and don't want to walk too far. So I think this is incredible concept. So for me, of course, UK wins, but for someone like my son who lives in States, there's still that decision whether we go through private landlord and have less, well, no amenities and less luxury, especially the washing machines. They drive me crazy. You can't find an apartment with washing machine apart from this building. So it's so sad. But if I was in the UK and location, if I work from home, this would be the one. Incredible. But guys, I really am excited to hear what you think. Let me know in the comments. How do you think these two compare? And do you have experience in living in managed buildings? Tell me about it. I would really love to see what you think. I've had so much fun creating this video, and of course creating both tours in US and UK. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do, because I've got so much content coming your way, and of course I love your suggestions of what you would like to see more of on the channel. Thank you so much. Bye bye.